Hey guys, happy Wednesday, happy Mittwoch. Um, okay, the things that have been happening over the past few days, heinous, evil, um, yeah, it's deplorable. It's, it's just amazing that we are looking at a modern day concentration camp and people are like, how could you say that? It's like, it's so not that. Yeah, it is. And what I mean by concentration, it's one individual is concentrating on one particular type of group of people and putting them and concentrating them into basically a pen, separating them, you know, women and children and all the, maybe not so much women, but children away from their parents and making sure they don't get together. The children are crying and screaming for their families, and they have no problem with that. And then one person is calling them actors. Well, she's not even human anyway. And we're watching this. And at one time in our history, people that looked like me were being treated like this. People that didn't look like me and didn't look like another group of people, and people didn't look like the people that are in charge were being concentrated, and people didn't look like another group of people were being concentrated, and people that didn't look like another group of people were being concentrated, and people that didn't look like yet another group of people were being concentrated. There were groups of people that were being concentrated, that were being separated and taken away from their families, and to this day probably don't even know who their families are. It's happening again. It's sick. It's scary, and we're in the midst of it again. And I'm afraid that we're in the midst of an upcoming revolution again. And it's going to get ugly. So be aware and be angry.